It all started April 1st, 2016. That's when I had my invite only exclusive open bar launch party. This is where I was like, you know what, I want to start this label, but I don't just want to start selling t-shirts or bam, just like, out of the blue. I actually want to have like a launch party so I could invite certain media houses, I could invite certain people from the fashion industry to come peep game, because at the time what I was doing had not been done before. You know what I mean? We had Brave World, and that's actually one of my inspirations, but Brave World was more urban wear. You know what I mean? Even though they broke the barrier and even inspired me to go hard, you know what I mean? They were the pioneers of this shit. But like Brave World was more urban, and I was coming off with the high end streetwear. You know what I mean? It's just that I studied the game, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna make Sacred high end, but I want everyone to get it. And me knowing the market in Botswana and how it works, because I studied the game, I wasn't going to start off with like crazy ass prices, you know what I mean? Because the kids would love it, but they wouldn't be able to purchase it, you know what I mean? The masses aren't rich where I come from, you know what I mean? So it's just a whole lot of planning, man, and God is good. That's all I can say, man. I just leave it up to God. None of this is my will. It's just God and my supporters that keep me running. Um, Man, I usually just go off feeling. You know what I mean? Everything, everything is not premeditated when it comes to the design process. I just go off how I feel at that moment, and I try put that feeling into my fashion. You know, whereby I stay silent and I don't say certain things that happen in my life, but you can feel it in the clothing. You can feel it in the way I distressed my jeans. That this guy, he has a bit of melancholy. So I just try to put it all into the fashion, like how I feel, and like the translation between me putting my feelings into the fashion is what like I can't explain. You know what I mean? It's just a feeling. I just do it off feeling, and when it feels right, I do it, and when it doesn't feel right, I don't. There's no specific process with something that's great. You know, the game plan was study the game so that when you actually drop, you do it the right way. Cause I could have dropped Skater Boy Inc., but I'm in it for longevity. You know what I mean? I'm not. A lot of people come with the hype and then it just dies down, and that's not what I wanted for myself. So I was like, first I've got to be a student of the game, understand the game. You know what I mean? Know how it works, and then plot. You know what I mean? And it was actually crazy because at this point in my life, my peers were going to university. You know what I mean? So it put me in a very awkward position with family, friends, based on social expectations. Your mom wants you to be a lawyer or a doctor, and you're like, nah, I want to make clothes. I don't want to go to school. I just want to make clothes. I have this passion to make clothes. It's like, whoa, it's a shock to them. You know what I mean? So that was also something I had to deal with.
I need me a bad bitch. My fuck around and call her friends and feed them to my mattress. Girl, you not an actress. Baby, don't you act up.
This is Kappa South Africa Instagram. They just posted this yesterday. Man, challenge number one is yourself. You have to wake up and tell yourself, yo, I'm the shit. What this person says about me shouldn't matter. It shouldn't make me feel less or more of a person. Because I came up with this ideology, I like to call, and I said, love is amazing. People show me love all the time, tell me Sacred is this and it's that. But I have a vision of where I want to take it. So I don't let the love gas me up. I don't think, oh, I'm the shit when people show me love. I still feel like there's a lot I have to learn, there's a lot I have to do. So that applies to the hate as well. I don't let it get to me when people say, oh, it's just another this or that or whatever they may say, because I feel like if you do things for other people, you'll never be satisfied. You know what I mean? But if you do it for yourself, you're content. Whether they like it or they don't, you're content, and you don't live off that, so it doesn't influence your decisions. And that's how I feel like people make the wrong decisions based on pleasing other people instead of themselves. So that's where it all worked out for me when I told myself, I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do this for me. Man, it boils down to one thing: consistency. It's nice to be the man, but like, what after? Like, okay, I dropped the baseball jersey collection, but what now? So I don't get stuck on like something I do, no matter how much the fans love it. As soon as I drop something, I've probably got like 3 collections already, just waiting on the perfect time for me to drop. You know what I mean? So I feel like consistency is what's gonna keep me alive, because a lot of these guys come in the game and they just slowly fade off. You know what I mean? Because they get stuck into their lifestyle. They want to be industry. You know what I mean? I don't go out. I stay home and I design my shit. You know what I mean? You know. So I just feel like, man, it's about to be crazy, because I dropped 2 capsule collections before I dropped my new collection season 3, and the whole ideology behind that was that, yo, I want season 3 to be so huge that it actually like changes like Africa as a whole, and I couldn't compromise on the integrity of dropping season 3 at a time whereby the fans wanted it but it wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? So it took me about close to like 2 years for me to do what I'm about to do on this next collection, and I just feel like God's timing is the best timing, because patience. They say patience is a virtue, and it's very cliche, but it's a true statement, man. Um, I wanna I wanna influence a whole generation, man, to believe in their dreams. You know what I mean? Influence a whole generation to live and not survive. You know, I was talking to my mom and I was like, mom, think about how many people wake up every morning and they go to work just to make money, to pay the bills, to pay rent, to buy food, the necessities we need to live, but they hate it. Like, if they were given an option to live life um, without having to go to work, or if they just had the opportunity to live life without having to do what they hate just for money, I don't think they'll do it. You know what I mean? So I just want to influence a whole generation to believe in themselves, to understand that if you dream, it's possible, regardless of how crazy it may seem, regardless of what people may say. If you put in the hard work, if you focus and you work right, man, not even the sky's the limit, you know? Because before I did what I done, they told me it wasn't possible. They said, no, you're a fool, you're crazy. You know what I mean? And you have to be strong through all that. You're gonna lose a lot of people close to you because of a lot of things, and those things are gonna make you feel a certain type of way. But the show has to go on. You know what I mean? You can't give up. You know what I mean? So people who look at the industry as something that's easy, or like it's an easy thing to do, it's actually not easy at all. You know what I mean? I feel like you actually have to work twice as hard, just to prove yourself, to be like, yo, I'm really doing this shit for real, because this is my career. You know what I mean? I don't go to school. I don't fucking have a job. This is what I do. This is how I'm gonna feed my kids. So that means I have to go hard to make sure that I have enough to take care of my family.